Hey guys, once again welcome back in our video series of C programming by TechBooster. So guys, in this video we'll learn about loop and its type. In any of our programming language, loop is the most important concept. So we need to understand what is a loop. Like if I ask you to perform certain tasks again and again, what will you do? Loop is our solution. Loop allows us to perform certain tasks again and again depending on number of time we want to execute it, or depending on our condition. Like here, if I ask you to print your numbers from 1 to 5, what will you do? Let me open my code block and show you this one. This is my code block. I will just create a new file. Let me save it by the name loop example. Okay. So here again we'll start with our header file. stdio.h, then comes our main function. So here basically if you want to print your numbers from 1 to 10, I will consider int a equals to 1. Then here in this case I will just print this one, print f %d comma a. So again here this will print 1. Now again I need to print 2. So what I will do, I can use my increment condition here. So what I will do, a equals to a plus 1. Now again I will just copy this particular line, I will paste it here. So this will give me 2. Again I will copy this 2 line, I will paste it here. This will give me 3, this will give me 4, and this will give me 5. Now once done, I'll use return 0. And now if you run this particular program, you can see you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here as I haven't used /n, so I'm getting all the answers in single line. Let me use /n here. This will make it more specific. /n, again /n, my final /n. Okay, so now once you run this one, you will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So guys, this is the way how you can print your numbers from 1 to 5. Now if I ask you to print all your numbers from 1 to 100, what will you do? Will you write all these lines again and again? That is not the solution. So here in this case, our programming language should have certain concept which can solve this particular issue. So this is nothing but our loop. Here our solution is our looping concept. So I hope now you are clear with why loop is important. Now let's move back towards our slide and check out its type. So this is my slide, and here you can see basically in our C language we have 3 different types of loop. First one is a while loop, then we have do while, and then our for loop. Here we will check out each and every loop. First of all, we will start with our while loop, and when I talk about your while loop, we need to understand the syntax. So this is my syntax here. So here first of all I need to use this while keyword, and then within this parenthesis I need to use my condition. And then within this curly bracket I need to have my statements. My statements are nothing but my line of code we want to execute. And then at the end you need to have your increment operation, how you want to increment your loop. So here this particular operation can either be your increment operation or decrement operation. Now what do you mean by increment operation or decrement operation? So here you can see this is my increment operation and this is my decrement operation. I have an example here. Example is a plus plus, or here in case of my decrement operator I have a minus minus. So a plus plus is nothing but a equals to a plus 1, which will increment my value of a by 1. Similarly, a minus minus is nothing but a equals to a minus 1, which will decrement my value by minus 1. So this is our increment operator and decrement operator. Also in many cases you may find plus plus a or minus minus a. Here basically the output of both a plus plus or a plus plus a is same, but you have certain difference here. So what is your difference here? In order to show you the difference between a plus plus or plus plus a, let me once again open my code block, and here in this case, like here, if I want to print the value of a plus plus, and again let me just copy this line. Okay, so here in this case, again if I print value of a, then what will be your output? If you guess, here basically as my a is 1, so by using your a plus plus, my first output should be 2, and second, as I've used only a, so this should also be 2. But once you run this one, you can see here in this case your output will be 1 and 2. You can see my first output here is 1 and second one is 2. So why haven't you got 2 in your first case? This is because a plus plus basically means this will first of all print your output and then this will increment by 1. This will first of all print your value and then it will increment by 1. But here in this case, if you use plus plus a, and now if you run, here in this case your value will be 2 and 2. Here you can see your value is 2 and 2. So plus plus a basically means here first of all this will increment your value and then this will print it. So this is the basic difference between a plus plus and plus plus a. Similar is the case for your a minus minus and minus minus a. So I hope your this particular concept is clear. Now again let's move back towards our slide, and here in order to understand your while loop in better way, I have an example. Print all natural numbers from 0 to 10. Here basically what I have asked you to print all your natural numbers or integers from 0 to 10 using while loop. First of all we'll use our while loop. So again I will consider this particular example. I'll just clear these two lines, and here my starting value will be 0. I'll consider my starting value as 0. I won't consider any user input here. Now I need to start with my while loop. So this is my while keyword, and here I need to use my condition. So what will be your condition? Basically here while loop means till the time your condition is not satisfied, the statement that you have within this while loop will get executed. So here what I'll write, a less than equal to 10. Here I'll just print f percentage d slash n comma a, and then a plus plus. Okay, so here basically what I'm doing, I'm considering my first value of a as 0. So here first of all we'll check our condition that a is less than equal to 10 or not. Yes, our condition is satisfied, this is true. Then we'll execute the statement that we have within this while loop. So here basically we'll print the value of a and then we'll increment our value by 1. So our next or new value of a is 1 here. So again we'll check our condition whether our condition is satisfying. Yes, our condition is satisfying because 1 is again less than 10. So again we'll run our statement here that we have within this while loop. So this will continue till we have our value of a is equal to 10. So once we have our value of a as 10, again we'll check our condition a, that is 10, is equal to 10. So again we'll print our value of a 10, and then once we increment our a, this will be your 11. Now once you check, your condition is not satisfied because 11 is neither less or equal to 10. Now you will come out of this particular loop and the lines that you have after this loop will get executed. So here in this case if I run this particular program, you can see I have all my outputs here from 0 to 10. This is the way how you need to use your while loop. So I hope your while loop is clear now. Now I'll move forward towards our second type, that is your do while. So let me close this one. And while I talk about your do while, again we'll look into our syntax. So this is my syntax here. So your while loop and do while is quite similar. Here only difference between your while loop and do while loop is, first of all we'll be checking our condition here in our while loop, and then we'll run our statement. But in case of your do while, first of all we'll run our statement and then we'll check our condition. That is, whenever you don't meet your condition, your statement will at least run once. Like here in this case, if I consider my a to be 11 here or 12 directly, now if you run this particular program, you won't have any output here because your condition is not satisfied, and as your condition is not satisfied, the statements that you have within this while loop will not get executed. But similarly, if you use your do while here, and if I ask you to solve the same example, what will you do? So here in this case, if I consider my value to be 0 again, and now here in place of while I will use do. So here I will just print everything, and after your curly bracket you need to use your condition while a less than equal less than 10. So here I will be using less than 10. Why will I use it? I will show you. Now here again you need to use this semicolon after your while condition. This is compulsory, or else you will get an error. Now once you run this one, you can see you have your outputs from 0 to 9. You have your output from 0 to 9. Once you use your equal here, you will have your output from 0 to 10. You have your output here from 0 to 10. But here in this case, if I consider my starting value to be 12, and now here in this case if I run my program, you can see you have your 12 here. You have your 12 here. That is, before going through this particular condition, first of all we'll print this particular line, and then we'll check our condition. As our condition is not satisfied, then we'll not move back to this particular do and the loop that we're using within this do while. But first of all, our statement will get executed, and then we'll check our condition. This is the difference between your do and while loop. Now here again, let me show you another important property of your do while or while loop. Like here in this case, our while loop can also work as an infinite loop. Here in this case, if I consider my value to be like 1, and here in this case if I consider a greater than 0. So here in this case you can see, as my initial value is 1 and here I am incrementing my value of a, so my next value will be 2, and while we check my condition is satisfied, every time I am incrementing by value, so every time my condition is satisfied. So here in this case, this will be my infinite loop. If I run this particular program, you can see this is my infinite loop. This will keep on continuing because my condition is satisfied every time my loop is operating. So let me just stop this one. Similar is the case with your while loop. If I consider my while loop here, let me just undo everything, and here in this case if I write a greater than 0, and here in this case if I consider my initial value to be 1, and if I run my program now, you can see my initial value is 1, and every time after satisfying this particular statement I will increment my value, and every time this particular condition will be satisfied, that is, this particular condition will be true. So I will have my output, and this will be my infinite loop. So once you run this one, you can see again this is my infinite loop. So this is another important property of your while loop. Now let me close this one, and I hope your while and do while loop is pretty clear here. Now let's move back and check out our third loop, that is your for loop. So this is our for loop syntax. So here we'll be using this for keyword, and then within this parenthesis, first of all we'll have our starting point, and then we'll have our ending condition here, and in between we'll be having this semicolon, and then after this ending condition we'll have another semicolon, and then we'll have our increment operation or decrement operation. That is how your program will move ahead, and then within this curly bracket you will have this particular statement. So depending on your starting point and depending on your ending condition, with your incrementing operation your statement will get executed. So this is your for loop, and in order to understand your for loop, I'll consider new example here. Print all the even numbers from 0 to 20. So here basically what I am trying to print all the even numbers from 0 to 20 using for loop. Suppose this, let me again open my code block, and here in this case I won't create a new file, I'll just modify it. So here I will start with my initial value as 0, because we know our even number start with 0. Now I will have my for loop for a. Okay, what I can do, I can simply consider my variable here, and I can consider my value here. For a equals to 0 semicolon, I need to have my ending condition here, a less than equal to 20. So this is my condition, and then I need to have my increment operation. Here basically what I need to do, I need to increment it by 2. That is, after 0 you need to have 2, then 4, then 6, and this will continue till 20. So what I can do, I can write a equals to a plus 2. This is your one option, or else what you can do, you can use a plus equals to 2 as we've discussed in our previous video. So here I'll just simply print my message, printf even numbers are /n, that is new line. Then again I'll print my output, printf %d /n comma a. Okay, so I'm done. Now once you run this particular program, you will have all the even numbers from 0 to 20. So once you run this one, you can see, okay, so my even numbers are getting executed every time. So what I'll do, I'll just bring this one out of my loop. So I'll print it here. Now once you run this one, you can see even numbers are 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So this is my example 2, which we have done using our for loop. Now I hope your loop concept is clear. So here in this video we have learned regarding our while loop, do while loop, and for loop. So with this guys, I'll be winding this video here. In my next video I'll consider few assignments where we'll use all our concepts that we have learned till this video. So we'll see you in my next video. Till then, goodbye and take care.